And it's so hard to tell the truth to yourself, to other people. And I think a lot of people avoid the work because they look at their marriage, they look at their house, they look at their dog, they look at their kids. And then if I start to tell the truth, this whole thing is about to get ruined, right?
Mm.
And it's funny because I think people say they're fine and sometimes they're not fine. And that's just people that are saying a word that hides it. But then a lot of people are fine. And I think self-development people sometimes don't make it okay to be okay. You know what I mean? Um, how do we inspire somebody listening right now that, I mean, obviously they're growth driven enough to listen to me on the show that with more than 400 episodes of growth. Um, how do we start to get people to face it? And an even deeper question, because you're a business person, how do we start to get them to channel that honesty, that truth, that purpose into their career, where they can start to really choose what they want, set boundaries, choose a new path, whatever it may be.
I think it starts with self-love. I mean, we hear it all the time, and it's such a cliche, but it is so true. Like, unless you cannot be the person you were meant to be unless you really get to know yourself from the inside out and accept that. And here's an opportunity too, is do your own thinking and be curious. And you get to decide, be a creator and go into creator mode when you're doing the self-development from the inside out work, and decide, what do you want your ego to be? Because our ego keeps us alive. Our ego is a very necessary part of our life, but we allow sometimes our ego to override our soul. And through doing this work, when you can have your soul and your ego be congruent with one another, and they're not different. You don't need to have a psychedelic plant medicine experience in order to put that default mode network or DMN asleep, so you can really get to know your soul.
Yeah.
Once you've done this work, once you've tasted that, you can never forget it. You can never unsee it. You can never unfeel it. And then you're able to easily drop into meditation. You're able to do the breath work. And then once you have shifted your operating system from this fear and scarcity, because most of us operate that way, we're in a society that continues to promote that unconsciously. Once we're able to think for ourselves, we've created our ego from the inside out, we know who we want to be, and we're true to ourselves, we're true to our soul, then you can love and abundance and opportunity will show up for you 100-fold.